When beginner nutrition coaches start thinking about coaching clients, they find all sorts of blogs and videos from expert coaches, which usually give them a bunch of advice from the point of view of an established nutrition coach. But for a complete beginner, this is already way too much and it sets them up for failure. Instead, for the nutrition coach that's just starting out, they need some specific strategies that helps them get clients results, keep their coaching system organized and streamlined, and attracting paying clients through what they post on social media. In today's video, I'm gonna give you everything you need to start nutrition coaching. And by the end of today's video, you'll know exactly how to coach clients with all the right forms and templates so you can turn your passion for nutrition into profit as a nutrition coach. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Mark, creator of the Dr. Mark Method Nutrition Certification. This is a tried and tested process that's been filling the gap between loving the science of nutrition, helping people, business and entrepreneurship, and applying the science of nutrition, confidently getting any client results, and starting and growing a nutrition coaching business. You see, a lot of big nutrition certifications and companies make this process much more complicated than it needs to be. You ready to take on this challenge? Let's do it. When I first started nutrition coaching, I did what most new nutrition coaches do. I read a lot of blogs and articles. I watched some YouTube videos from big names and other established nutrition coaches, and that all felt like it was helping, but I spent the first few years in my nutrition coaching making little to no progress. I was approaching the coaching of each and every client completely differently. I was posting things on social media, hoping and praying clients would come to me, and I wasn't getting great results with my clients. There were some clients on my coaching roster that were doing okay, but it was far from consistent. So I didn't have tons of confidence and I didn't have that push to grow my business. And it took me a few years to realize that no one had taught me the basics of nutrition coaching. I had nothing to build off of, but the system I'm gonna teach you today is gonna give you everything you need and help you get started from square one. So instead of spinning your wheels trying the first couple years and maybe not even pushing through it, you'll have everything you need right from the get-go. Let's make sure this doesn't happen to you by skipping that learning curve. Okay, the first thing you'll need to focus on is how you'll deliver your coaching, especially the coaching feedback. The first mistake you'll make, which is very easy to make, very common, is that you're treating each and every client differently. Different ways of checking in, different ways of communicating. You've been led to believe that you want to be a client-centered coach, which means that you're going to bend your coaching and cater to each and every client differently. This isn't going to work. You need a system to work under. In the effort to be a coach who really cares, because you do, you're open access. You're telling your clients that they can message you at every time of the day, on different platforms, text message, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DM, your 24-hour call center. And let's be honest, nothing is that important. Most people will be able to make the right decisions if they're working within the right system. And you giving your nutrition clients more access to you all the time to ask questions and to get feedback is only devaluing the main check-in process, which we're gonna detail in a second. This is one of the big changes we made with Dr. Mark Method student Roxanne, who took her nutrition coaching from 3 clients to 18 clients and going full time. Here's what was the difference maker for her. Before starting our program, Roxanne had a handful of clients. When she was setting some goals entering our program, she knew she wanted to work with more clients, but she wasn't really sure how she would get there. Because although she already had a full-time job, coaching the 3 clients on the side was taking up all the rest of her time. Every week she would have an hour-long call with them. She'd encourage them to reach out whenever they wanted, and she'd be messaging back and forth with them all week, troubleshooting problems, giving them constant reassurance. Essentially, coaching these 3 clients was taking up all of the time that she had to put into her coaching. This is the first thing we addressed in her coaching by tweaking her check-in process and actually setting her up so she was talking to her clients less by setting up a formal check-in process. So she set up all of her client check-ins on one day and set up a streamlined form for them to submit all the necessary information. And she stopped doing live calls with these clients and started doing video review check-ins using our hybrid check-in process. This brought down her time per client per week from 3 to 4 hours to nearly 15 minutes, while still maintaining the same quality of service and similar results for her clients. She created a coaching system where she could take in all the necessary information to be a good coach. It was all in front of her at one time, and she could do all the correspondence all at once. Then, since she freed up so much time, she could spend the rest of that time growing her business. This way you can be the most effective coach possible because you're not trying to recall and remember information from a bunch of different places and conversations, which is in the best interest of the client. And since they now have time to actually put your feedback into practice, they're gonna get better results. This is a win-win for everyone and how you wanna set up your coaching system from the beginning. It's what helped Roxanne go from 3 clients to nearly 18 in our program and and quit her full-time job. And it's what you want to set up right from the beginning. Now, if you want everything that I use, the step-by-step process to set up these check-ins with Roxanne, the forms, the templates, everything. I put it all together in a completely free 3-day quick start nutrition coaching challenge. Pause this video, go to the first link in the description below, and you'll get instant access to the challenge. This will give you everything you need to get started. And when you come back to this video, I'm going to show you how to get paying clients through what you post on social media. Okay, here's the next thing you need to get started. You need a reliable way to get paying clients. Okay, I hate to break it to you, but the social media advice you find online is not going to work for you as a beginner. You're going to hear about things like ManyChat automations and using AI and fancy websites and elaborate social media calendars and sales funnels. This is all stuff that is way too advanced for you as a beginner. And the good news is there are approaches that are much more simple and are going to set you up for success as a new nutrition coach. And you're going to need that because if you don't have paying clients, you don't have a nutrition coaching business. You have an expensive nutrition coaching hobby. So you got to figure this out. Here's what you need to land your first 3, 5, even 10 paying nutrition clients. If you leave this video with anything, understand this. You need to make it obvious that you're a nutrition coach that can be hired. You need to make it obvious to everyone around you, both in your immediate real life social circle, but also everything that you're doing online, that there's an opportunity to work with you. They need to know about it. Here's a great example of this. We just had a new student get started in the Dr. Mark method last week. Let's call her Tracy. Tracy's been a group fitness instructor for the last 10 years and she loves helping people. She knows nutrition coaching is the answer in her business and going online, but all of it seems really daunting. But since it was hard to have everything figured out, she never really got started. So no one really knew that she could help them lose weight or improve performance through nutrition. So she never got any traction. So the first thing we addressed when she came into the program, and wait for it, hold your breath, this is going to be revolutionary, is talk about this process. We got her talking about how she was starting nutrition coaching and what that would mean for everyone around her. She created a wait list for anyone that was interested in hearing more about her services when they were ready. She didn't spend hours on Canva creating educational carousels or elaborate videos. She just made it obvious that there was an opportunity to work with her as a nutrition coach. So she posted about this. And what happened? 25 people reached out. 25 people. That's right, more than she could ever start working with. All of the people that are ultimately going to become your paying clients, they're already right in front of you. You just need to give them the opportunity. One of the easiest, most straightforward ways to do this is by creating an application form and posting it in a bunch of different places, like the link in your bio, for example. Now, what this is going to do is give potential clients a place for them to express what they want to achieve and for them to show interest in your nutrition coaching. And as a nutrition coach, this is one of the smartest things you can do. So potential clients can fill it out, but everyone watching and sort of waiting also always know that there's an opportunity to work with you. Now, you're going to hear from a lot of social media influencers not to do this. It's going to come off as salesy or spammy. And to be honest, I think that's silly. I think you should immediately discard that advice because your first 5 to 10 paying clients are going to already come from your social circle, which means they're already going to know who you are and trust you. You just need to give them the opportunity. And putting an application form somewhere and making it obvious that there is that opportunity is the most straightforward way of doing it. It really can be that simple. You don't need a high-tech, professionally designed website. You don't need a complicated sales funnel. We have nutrition coaches that come out of our program making $10,000 every month from a simple Google form. Start simple when it comes to attracting clients and don't waste your time on anything else. Now, if you want the exact application form that I use, you can also find that in the 3-day challenge. So make sure you sign up for that. And the last thing you need to get started is to focus on the science of nutrition that will deliver client results. Recently, we had a student come through our program. His name was Kurt. He personally had an amazing transformation story. Over the last 2 years, he dropped nearly 50+ pounds through intermittent fasting. And everyone around him was asking questions about what he did. And since he loves helping people and was looking for a change, it only made sense to start considering doing some coaching. So he started one of the big nutrition certs, but he never finished it because although he was learning a lot, it was pretty technical and he wasn't really sure how he's going to apply what he was learning. And he kept thinking, well, intermittent fasting worked for me. Will it work for everyone? And he really wasn't sure about that. He needed to build confidence that his coaching would work for everyone. And this comes from understanding the principles of nutrition that will help build the right structure in his coaching, and then filling that structure with the science of behavior change. That's the art of this stuff, especially when it comes to weight loss and muscle gain and sports performance, all things that are exactly in the wheelhouse of a nutrition coach. You need to be able to set up this science and the art of this stuff and deliver it in a coaching model that your clients love. And that's what's going to deliver client results. And when you can deliver client results, you will be successful. But unfortunately, when you do first get started, just like Kurt, you probably won't be focusing on the right things that'll make you successful. And that's because you have so much information in front of you, so many things that you could do. But when we think about the science of transformation, it really comes down to these nutrition principles. Think about numbers and objective stuff like energy balance and macronutrients, but also how people act, their behavior, their habits, the things that they focus on. On one hand, new coaches might think, well, I'm going to coach my clients, I'm just going to have them build new habits. We'll build one new healthy habit at a time and it'll all add up, right? Sure, that feels good to us. And it may work because it gives our clients some idea of how to do things, like eating enough protein at a meal or getting enough sleep. But that doesn't mean someone will get results. Think about it this way. Think about if you're trying to save money and you just swear off buying fast food at lunch. You may save some money by bringing your own lunch, but unless we know the checks and balances around your financial budget, we don't really know how this one habit fits into the bigger picture. And if it doesn't fall in line with your client's goals and what they need as an individual, it won't work. On the other hand, though, a new coach might think, well, this all comes down to energy balance and macronutrients. And if I set a client up on that and give them exactly what they need to do, it should work. If I set my client up on some targets and get them to track, they should transform overnight, right? Maybe it does set some checks and balances around things that should work theoretically, but it doesn't really give someone a clue around what to execute and what to do. You see, to get results for nutrition clients, you need both. The science gives you the what and why something should work, and the habits and the psychology and the execution, they give you the how. In the Dr. Mark method, we call this structure and habits. And when you include both in your coaching in a cohesive way, you're going to be able to get any client results. And that's exactly what Kurt did. He built confidence through understanding the science of nutrition and the art of coaching. So he knew why results occurred. It wasn't just the intermittent fasting, but also built a coaching structure around getting clients to take the right actions, the next step. For you to get started nutrition coaching as an absolute beginner, you need the right coaching systems, a way to attract paying clients, and an understanding of the science of nutrition and the art of coaching. To set you up for success, the best way to get started is join that free 3-day challenge. You can find that through the link in the description below. And as great as all these tips are, if you're really serious about starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'm going to have you do is check out the video I've linked up right here. The one thing you may still be wondering is, well, how much do I charge for my nutrition coaching? I'm going to address that in the video right here. So check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.